عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا. هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين ليزدادوا إيمانا مع إيمانهم ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عليما حكيما. ليدخل المؤمنين والمؤمنات جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها ويكفر عنهم سيئاتهم وكان ذلك عند الله فوزا عظيما. ويعذب المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات الظانين بالله ظن السوء عليهم دائرة السوء وغضب الله عليهم ولعنهم وأعد لهم جهنم وساءت مصيرا. ولله جنود السماوات والأرض وكان الله عزيزا حكيما. إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا لتؤمنوا بالله ورسوله وتعزروه وتوقروه وتسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. إن الذين يبايعونك إنما يبايعون الله يد الله فوق أيديهم فمن نكث فإنما ينكث على نفسه ومن أوفى بما عاهد عليه الله فسيؤتيه أجرا عظيما. سيقول لك المخلفون من الأعراب شغلتنا أموالنا وأهلنا فاستغفر لنا يقولون بألسنتهم ما ليس في قلوبهم قل فمن يملك لكم من الله شيئا إن أراد بكم ضرا أو أراد بكم نفعا بل كان الله بما تعملون خبيرا.
Hi everybody, welcome everybody once more again. Today's lecture is focusing on the problem of Hamlet's madness. Madness between two inverted commas. In this case, it has a special meaning, which means that the writer of this essay doesn't believe that Hamlet is really mad. Some other so-called madness. لسه أنا ما بديتش أقول اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد. لسه أنا ما يعني هنا لما نحط هنا كلمة between inverted commas اسمها so-called الذي يدعى يعني not really madness. هيلانا علاء طباش.
نعم يا دكتور معك.
Good
يعطيك
afternoon.
العافية.
لا زكي.
Yes, good afternoon.
Are you hearing me very well?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. We are exploring today Hamlet's madness, whether it is feigned, or genuine, real. A difference of opinion about Hamlet's madness. This is a very important question indeed. One of the problems that we face in the course of our reading the play or seeing it staged on stage is whether Hamlet's madness is feigned or real. Well, يجب أن نقرر real madness, or he is really mad, or he is feigning madness. Feigning madness. Opinions are divided on this matter, on this issue. مختلفين الناس. To some people, to some critics, هنا صارت noun. It appears that Hamlet has lost his reason. Reason means mind, under the pressure of circumstances. What kind of circumstances? Pressing circumstances in the form of his mother's hasty remarriage. And the ghost revelation that Hamlet's father was murdered by his uncle. These are compelling, stressful circumstances. But do they lead to madness? I am not certain. They aren't enough in themselves. But others think that what seems to be Hamlet's madness is the antic disposition between two inverted commas, which he has decided early in the play to wear. He decided to put on himself, on his face, antic disposition, yani feigned madness, as a mask. You see what he says here? Yes, Act 1, Scene 1. He tells Horatio and others. What he tells them? Here, as before, never, so help you mercy. How strange or odd, soever I bear myself, as I perchance, perhaps يعني, hereafter, من الآن وصاعدا, shall think meet, I shall think, meet means suitable, to put an antic disposition on. يعني, he is premeditating, feigning madness, and يعني يظهر أنه مجنون while he is really not. In view of this decision of Hamlet, it doesn't seem right for anybody to interpret Hamlet's subsequent behavior and talk, which at places are certainly very odd sometimes and strange, as madness, رغم غرابة ما يقول وغرابته its oddity, strangeness and oddity, but it is not madness. Though his behavior and his talk were very odd and strange, but they aren't manifestations of madness. Grounds for the belief that Hamlet's madness is real. For the grounds, some critics base their belief that Hamlet's madness is real. The grounds they use, of course, al-usus, the grounds on which some critics depend in saying that Hamlet's madness is real. هاي الأسس اللي النقاد بيبنوا عليها رأيهم بأنه هاملت is really mad. Those who think that Hamlet has really gone mad do certainly have some ground for their belief, some basis. In Act 2, Scene 1, line 77, 84, and 87, 100, Ophelia describes to her father the strange behavior of Hamlet when he called on her, when he visited her in her closet. Hamlet had entered Ophelia's closet chamber يعني, in disordered garments, clothes. Garments means clothes, ملابس, and taking her by the wrist and holding her hard, scrutinized her face, looked thoughtfully on her face, and raised a sigh, وأطلق تنهيدة, so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk. All his bulk, all his body. Shatter, destroy. A sigh, so piteous, يعني pity arousing, يثير الشفقة, and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk, his madness, piteous, and was profound enough for me to conclude that Hamlet is going to collapse, his body is going to collapse under the influence of this madness. Hamlet's abnormal mental condition is due to his disappointment in love. This is not real, of course. This is Polonius. I'm sorry. Hearing this description, Polonius jumps to the conclusion that Hamlet's abnormal mental condition is due to his disappointment in love. You know that Hamlet, from your past experience with the play, that Polonius is superficial, and سطحي, meddling with people's affairs, hasty in estimating things, in judging things, the validity of things. He says that he concludes hastily that Hamlet's abnormal mental condition is caused by frustrated love. Frustrated love. Abed. Because under here, yes. متسلسل معايا؟ ايوه. لا مش شايف. طيب استنى لا. حتى اللي قبلها بس اللي قبلها عشان اتاكد انه متابعه. Yes. Because yes. Why disappointment in love? Because Ophelia's father commanded her not to meet Hamlet, to deny Hamlet meeting her, and to return his advancements to her. Ophelia had refused to meet Hamlet. Polonius calls Hamlet's mental condition at this stage the very ecstasy of love. هي ثورة الحب. Ecstasy. شايفين ان ecstasy هذه noun ديروا بالكم. هي very من الحالات الشاذة اللي تيجي قدام الناون. The very love, the very ecstasy of love. And immediately goes to the king to acquaint, to inform يعني the king with what has happened. He is loyal to the king. He is a close friend to the king. A reader's impression of Hamlet's madness being real is likely to be soon confirmed by the manner in which Hamlet speaks to Polonius. يعني what Hamlet, the language Hamlet uses when he addresses himself to Polonius might lead some people to believe that Hamlet was really mad. To the two courtiers, two servants, to Ophelia, and to the king, and even more so by Hamlet's, and even more so by Hamlet's murder of the father of the girl whom he loves, or whom at least he used to love. He means Polonius, the act of killing Polonius. ايش ياسمين بنانا؟ مالها؟ عندك ظروف؟ طيب كمان احنا بكون عندنا ظروف مش عارفين نساوي. طيب ماشي. Let her not walk in the sun. بقول لهملت بقول لبولونيوس let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing. ديروا بالكم. Hamlet is fond of using words that carry double meaning. Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing. Conception means فهم وتعني حمل. تنتين acceptable. Is a blessing. يبقى conception with its two interpretations is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. كما رجع للverb conceive. Conceive means understand and means يحمل. عندما تحمل الفتاة. طبعا this is obscene language to be used with his lover's father. الكلام هنا قلنا ايش؟ There is a play on words here. Your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to a little later in the same scene, the manner in which he talks to Rosencrantz and Guildenstern strengthens that impression. Which impression? That he was really mad, for those who believe that Hamlet was really mad. When, for instance, Rosencrantz says that the world has grown honest, هو أنا أفكر بدي أشتغل كلمة honest Hamlet بمعنى dishonest. Hamlet replies, then is doomsday near. إذا تحول الكون إلى مكان أمين فانتظروا الساعة. Then is doomsday near. This is a type of sarcasm. يعني the kingdom is not honest. The kingdom is not honest. And if it becomes honest, we are approaching doomsday. But your news is not true. News is مفرد ديروا بالكم is singular. Let me question more in particular. What have you, my good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune? You suffered at the hands of fortune. He is alluding that fortune is a source of his difficulty. And fortune as a theme in the play permeates all the play. يتخلل كل المسرحية. And fortune is always there. Doom is always there. Fate is always there. That she sends you to prison hither. That fortune sends you here to the prison here. In speaking to Ophelia, he insults her just as he has already insulted her father. Insult بمعنى إيش؟ يهين. He asks her never to get married, but to go to a nunnery and later. Nunnery also has two meanings. Nunnery where nuns and nuns live, dire, or a place where bad women practice adultery. In the play scene, he makes several obscene remarks to her. Obscene, not polite. سافلة, حقيرة. In the nunnery scene, Act 3, Scene 1, the way he has spoken to Ophelia convinces her that he is mad. But some people believe that he does these things intentionally because Ophelia sold him and she bought her father, so to speak. She supported her father and she sold him to her father. The way he has spoken to Ophelia convinces her that he is mad. After all, who is Ophelia to judge Hamlet as being mad. She is not literate. She is not knowledgeable. She is almost naive. After he leaves her in that scene, she expresses her reaction in a soliloquy saying, "Oh, what a noble mind is here overthrown, destroyed." She is describing Hamlet. Hamlet was a noble mind, here overthrown. In this soliloquy, she contrasts what Hamlet used to be with what he is now has become. الحال الذي كان عليها وما وصل إليه الآن. And concludes, "Oh, woo me, ya waili, oh, woo is me to have seen what I have seen, and أرى ما رأيت, see what I see, وأن أرى ما أرى الآن." Hamlet's murder of Polonius. طبعا we look on these incidents in light of judging whether Hamlet's madness is real or genuine, real or feigned. Then there is the incident of Hamlet's murder of Polonius. It is true that when he makes a pass with his sword through the arras, لما طعن الأراس, he doesn't know who is hiding there. But he suspected that it would be the king. Perhaps he thought that the king was hidden behind the arras curtain. But why one is likely to think him mad at this time is that he doesn't feel the least remorse on finding that he has killed an innocent man. هذا الناس اللي بيقولوا انه هو كان مجنون حقيقة. بيقولوا انه حادث القتل يثبت انه مجنون لانه لم تعتري اي وخزة من واخذات الضمير عندما قتل رجل مسن لا ذنب له. On finding that he has killed an innocent man, this is what he says on discovering that his victim is Polonius. Yes. "Thou wretched, rash, intruding, thou wretched, rash, intruding fool, farewell." أيها الحقير المندفع المتطفل, intruding, middling, يعني fool, وكمان fool, farewell. "I took thee for thy better, I mistook you for the king. Take thy fortune." هي كمان مرة كلمة fortune. خذ حظك. "Thou findest to be too busy in some danger. You were constituting danger for me." Yes, of course, he was the king. He was the king's ally, a close friend. It is, yeah. So yes, Claudius's friends are potential enemies for Hamlet. It is true that a little later, in the same scene, he says to his mother, more grounds for the people who think that Hamlet was really mad. Pointing to Polonius after he killed him, "I do repent, and أتوب, but heaven, لا شفت لا تقرأ في بيت الشاهد لا تستعجل. "I do repent." هذا اللي بسموه emphatic, دود للemphasis. "I do repent." but لما بأكد الفعل اللي بدي إياه بقول I do repent. هذا الأوبريتر شغله هنا للemphasis. "But heaven hath pleased it so." This is heaven's wish. This is heaven's wish. But this is cursory manner. Hasty. Cursory means hasty, rash, flying manner. Referring to this murder shows him to be utterly heartless, لا قلب له, and therefore lends weight to the theory of his madness وتعطي تأكيدا على نظرية جنونه الحقيقي. طبعا ديروا بالكم I am not subscribing to this point of view. I'm just saying or quoting their reasons, their grounds. But you need to either side with this theory or side with the one that is the very opposite of it, which namely means that Hamlet was feigning madness. Hamlet's behavior at Ophelia's funeral. Another piece of funeral metagenesis, another piece of evidence that supports the theory of Hamlet's madness is his behavior at Ophelia's funeral. When Laertes, Laertes her brother, when Laertes, in the wildness of his grief, leaps into Ophelia's grave, Hamlet steps forward and follows suit, and leaps, I meant follows suit, وتبع خطاه, and follows his suit, leapt on in the grave. When the two are grappling with each other, يتشاجرون, Hamlet warns him that he will kill him, and then makes a speech in which he challenges Laertes to compete with him in expressing grief over Ophelia's death, and تحداه أن يتنافسا في إظهار حزنهم على موت Ophelia. Hamlet's speech here makes the queen say, "This is mere madness. This is mere madness, sheer madness." Hamlet's soliloquies are proof of his sanity. Those who believe that Hamlet wasn't really mad, but was really feigning madness, putting madness as a mask on his face, they have also, those people have also their grounds. إيش أسسهم؟ إيش ما يحتجون؟ بماذا يحتجون؟ Hamlet's soliloquies are a proof of his sanity. Sanity صحته العقلية. تعرفوا السانيتيشن؟ السانيتيشن اللي كانت في الوكالة هي الصحة، معناها الصحة العامة. طبعا a person is supposed to be truthful to himself in his soliloquies. واحد بيكلم نفسه بيكلم الحقيقة. All this evidence, however, is inadequate. The previously cited evidence, كل الشواهد السابقة لا تكفي في وجهة نظر هذا أصحاب هذا الرأي, to convince us that Hamlet is really mad. His speeches, when he is alone or when he is with Horatio, his confident, his trustworthy friend, his confident, whom he takes into confidence, are unquestionably the speeches of not only a man who is sane, but who has an exceptionally powerful intellect. نعيد الكلام ونقوله. حواراته مع نفسه ومع هوراتيو صديقه العزيز الذي أصبح يثق فيه are unquestionably, بدون شك, كلمة unquestionably بدون شك. yes
فينا مسلوبة.
أيوة. بتتغدوا؟ مين اللي بيتغدى هذا؟ يلا هنيئا مريان. Unquestionably the speeches of not only a man who is sane, كلمات رجل ليس فقط عاقلا, but who has an exceptionally powerful intellect, لديه عقلية جبارة على نحو شاذ. All the soliloquies of Hamlet are not only perfectly coherent, متماسكة, and logical, but they have a depth of thought, تحتوي على تفكير عميق, which reveal Hamlet as a profound thinker. تكشف عن شخصية هاملت كمفكر عميق, profound thinker. his reasoning يعني محاججته استخدامه للعقل in these soliloquies shows him as a scholar عالم, a philosopher and وفيلسوف. His generalizations in the course of these soliloquies shows his deep wisdom. تعميماته تعكس حكمته العميقة. إيش قال؟ Frailty, thy name is woman. All people subscribe to this aphorism. Frailty means weakness. Women are weak. Nobody says that women are strong. That one may smile and be a villain. لا تغرنك الابتسامات فأنت أمام ربما يبتسم المرء ويبتسم ويبقى مبتسما ومع ذلك بيكون villain ملعون rascal شرير. Smiling doesn't mean that the smiling person is good. He might be a smiling person, he might smile, but at the same time be a villain. What is a man if his chief good and market of his time be but to sleep and feed? ما هو الإنسان؟ وما الخير الذي فيه؟ وما هو الشيء الجيد إن كان كل ما يستطيع أن يفعله الخير كله في حياته هو أن ينام ويأكل. This is the life of animals. Those who are content with feeding and sleeping from life are no more than animals. هم كالأنعام بل أضل سبيلا. Rightly to be great is not to stir without a great argument. أن تكون عظيما لا يعني أنك لا تكون عظيما في المحاججة العقلية أو ليس لك قضية. ما حد يسألني ولا سؤال إلا لما أخلص. هذه مش داخلة في الامتحان النصبي. يا الله زهقت من أسئلتكم يا بنات. يعني ما حياة الإنسان إن أردت أن تكون عظيما حقيقة يجب أن تكون لديك قضية عظيمة. Great argument. His soliloquy beginning to be or not to be, that is the question, is one of the most celebrated passages in the whole range of English literature. تكاد تكون أعظم بيت في التاريخ. لكن كسولوكوي من عيون الأدب في اللغة الإنجليزية. is one of the most celebrated famous يعني passages in the whole range of English literature على مدى تاريخ الأدب اللغة الإنجليزية. This soliloquy expresses what يا عبد الله؟ expresses شو يحمل؟ طيب ماشي. Expresses ideas which go straight to every thinking man's heart. تعبر عن أفكار تدخل مباشرة إلى تفكير وعقل الإنسان العاقل. Of their universal appeal لفائدتها الكونية. Not only are لما بنبدأ الجملة not only بصير في inversion. في إيش؟ inversion. ألا طبش are you there? Oh, you have left the room?
بس في دوشة عنا يعني.
من وين الدوشة هاي؟
لا حوالينا.
قولي له مو سكتوا. طب ايش معنات انفيرجن يا علاء؟
انفيرجن ممكن الانفيرجن بنعملها للسبجكت والفيرب، يعني انا ابدل مكانهم. زي في
أول مرة بحكي لك أنا عن الفيرجن، أول مرة تسمعي مني. هو تقديم الفعل على الفاعل.
أنا عرفتها منك.
طيب
نعم.
وامتى بيتم تقديم الفعل على الفاعل؟
امتى ايش؟
امتى بيتم عمل انفيرجن؟
ممكن في الكويستشن، وممكن كمان لما يكون عندنا مثلا في النفي neither nor و either or.
لما كل كلمات النفي ليش؟ not only لما تبدا الجمله، مش لما تكون وسط الجمله.
صح.
ونايذر لما تبدا الجمله وليس لما تكون وسط الجمله. وريرلي وسيلدم كل الادفيرس اللي بتدل على معنى النفي لما بتكون in the beginning of the sentence. والله نحكي لهم الانفيرجن 100 مره لينسوا. تعلمت من كثير يا لا، بس هم ما بدهمش يتعلموا.
والله اخذتها كمان في جرامر 3، يعني انه صار عندي معلومات عنها.
طيب هم ماشي. not only are all الانفيرجن not only are all his liquids pregnant with wisdom حاملة بالحكمة but they are also remarkable for their poetic لما بتغير quality، ولكنها لا فيها مش حكمة وبس، كمان جودة شعرية هائلة and their excellence of language. No man who had even a touch of madness ولا إنسان عنده حتى لو لمسة جنون could have spoken as Hamlet does. هنا في ellipsis، في ellipsis ولا substitution؟ يلا يا ألا. could have spoken as Hamlet does. as Hamlet does. does هذا ايش بتعني؟ لو حذفناها ايش تكون؟ ايش بيجي بدالها؟ وبس هم بس انا لا اللي رانيا الاستاذ ولا امان الاستاذ؟ ولا واحد بده يسال بنات، واحد افتح لي عليهم ما دخل اسالهم. does ماذا تعني does؟
we speaks.
شو في؟
دكتور عيد السؤال والله.
does هذه does.
أيوة.
what does it substitute؟ بتحل محل ايش؟ تستبدل ايش؟ صحيح ريم، صحيح ريم ابو مصطفى. سبيك اوت يا ريم، صحيح كلامك. يبقى does عشان هيك سميناها مش ellipsis.
I'm saying speak.
سميناها substitution. استبدلنا الفيرب مأخوذ من speak كان استخدمنا بدالها الاوبريتور دو. يا بدنا
نعيد كتابة
صحيح.
الفعل فبنحط له verb to do بدالها حتى نمنع التكرار.
صحيح، هذا بسموه ايش؟ substitution. كمان مرة substitution استبدال. تعرفوا تكتبوها substitution؟
Yes.
والله ما كنت. طب مين يقول لي ايش كيف تكتب substitution؟ اكتبي لهم يا عبد الله. S substitution. S. طيب ايش بدي ثواني؟ substitute. طيب SUB كان كله. طيب يس ايوه substitute. yes good الفيرب substitute. وهو يس good. ها نور. نور مزيد نايس. نور مزيد. ايش الفرق بين السبستيوشن والاليبسس؟ الاليبسس بنحذف الكلمه ككل، السبستيوشن بنحذف الكلمه وبنجيب لها بديل. يلا رجعنا لك. رجعني يا بابا. بدي افصل؟ طيب ماشي. اعطي رقم جديد للمحاضره. فاهمني؟ شو بس تجي
أفحسب الذين كفروا أن يتخذوا عبادي من دوني أولياء إنا أعتدنا جهنم للكافرين نزلا قل هل ننبئكم بالأخسرين أعمالا ضل سعيهم في الحياة الدنيا وهم يحسبون أنهم يحسنون صنعا أولئك الذين كفروا بآيات ربهم ولقائه فحبطت أعمالهم فلا نقيم لهم يوم القيامة وزنا ذلك جزاؤهم جهنم بما كفروا واتخذوا آياتي ورسلي هزوا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كانت لهم جنات الفردوس نزلا خالدين فيها لا يبغون عنها حولا قل لو كان البحر مدادا لكلمات ربي لنفد البحر قبل أن تنفد كلمات ربي ولو جئنا بمثله مددا قل إنما أنا بشر مثلكم يوحى إلي أنما إلهكم إله واحد فمن كان يرجو لقاء ربه فليعمل عملا صالحا ولا يشرك بعبادة ربه أحدا.
أحكي أهلا وسهلا once more again. إيمان الأستاذ does deserve a special mention. She works hard. She is serious. She wants to achieve a high mark. She is planning to achieve a high mark. That's why I am mentioning her in front of others. No man who had even, I am here, no man who had even a touch of madness could have spoken as Hamlet does, could have spoken as Hamlet speaks in his soliloquies. could have been بيسموه هذا ايش؟ هذا اللي هو يسميه past possibility. In one of his soliloquies he forms a deliberate plan, خطة مقصودة by which he proposes to catch the conscience of the king. This can't be produced by an insane person. This is the result, or the sequence, or the result of deliberate planning, thoughtful planning, which reveals, or which shows for sure, that Hamlet is a sane person, not an insane, a sane person. Wisdom in his speeches to Horatio. Likewise, the manner in which he speaks to Horatio is perfectly logical and coherent. And Horatio, though, is a learned man, a university student, doesn't feel that Hamlet has the slightest manifestation of madness. And Horatio doesn't, on any occasion, have the least suspicion that Hamlet's mind is crazed. When the players leave, Horatio comes to Hamlet, and in the quiet sanity of their conversation, we see how close their relationship is, how full of calm, good sense. calm هادئ وجود sense اللي هو الإحساس والفطرة في الفطرة إحساسه الجيد. This talk is another proof that there is no real madness in Hamlet. Had he been without a confident, had he been without a confident in his plot to catch the king, that would have been like a madman. لو ما كانش هو واثق من إنه he would be able to catch the king's conscience, he would have been like a madman. But he contrived so skillfully this dramatic performance. But we now hear نزل السطر هذا لا السطر الأخير مش شايفه. لا ده فوق ايوه كمان yeah, but now we hear that ايوه we hear مش هنقرا هذا السطر. Now we hear that he has told all the ghost story and his own to his own friend, consulted him throughout, made him a sharer of his own thoughts and plans. And he has done this on the sufficient ground of his long experience of Horatio's sterling character. Sterling character means that when we say describe somebody as a sterling, we say that this description conforms to highest standards. جاي من العملة الاسترليني. العملة الاسترليني تفي بجميع المواصفات العالية. يعني هو له شخصية زي الستيرلينج. شخصيته reveals or conforms to the highest standards. This is not madness but wisdom. ويعرف نقاط from Sajja to everyone. رفع طب ايش يا سجا بدك من everyone؟ هذا مش وقته تشاتنج يا بنات. The evidence of Polonius. Then there is the evidence of Polonius. You either come to Gaza or you come to Khan Yunis. I believe that everybody will come to Gaza. بصير مشكلة بطلوا عندكم مشاكل في المواصلات. كتبان إن شاء الله. طيب. Then there is the evidence. قلت أنتم مشغولين أنا بقى بتكلم وأنتم مشغولين في القصة هاي. من لا يريد أن يقدم الثلاثاء في خان يونس يقدم في الأربعاء في غزة. المواعيد معلنة يا ناس. كل شيء واضح. الله يهديكم يا رب. كيف هتفهموا الأدب الإنجليزي هذا وأنتوا البوست المكتوب بالعربي عاملين فيه مشكلة؟ Then there is the evidence of Polonius himself. شاهد Polonius نفسه. In Act 1, Scene 2, Polonius thus comments in an aside on Hamlet's strange manner of talking. إيش بيقول لحاله؟ Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. But everybody knows full well that madness lacks method. لكن هذا عنده من التناقض ما يكفي. Though this be madness, yet there is method in it. Because there is a method in what Polonius believes to be madness, for us it is not real madness. Though this be madness, yet there is a method in it. صحيح? As there is never a method in madness, it is obvious that Polonius feels that his view that Hamlet is mad is far from the truth, بعيدة عن الحقيقة. Nor does أي كمان in Virgin. Nor does the king. حتى الملك ما قالش عنه ماد. اللي هو he is shrewd, cunning, scheming, experienced, who is a very shrewd man, حكيم, خبير, with a penetrating judgment. ولو حكم يعني penetrate يعني ينفذ إلى خلايا الأشياء. Believe that Hamlet is mad for love or for any other reason. الملك لا يعتقد أنه Hamlet is mad. This is what the king says to Polonius in Act 3, Scene 1. إيش بيقول له؟ love. زي اللي بضحك عليه love. His afflictions do not that way tend, nor what he spoke. His actions do not tell us for sure that he was going in the direction of madness, nor what he spoke. Speak and spoke, يعني. Though it lacked form, though his speech lacked form a little, wasn't like madness. His speaking is not like madness. This is the judgment passed on Hamlet's madness by feigned madness between inverted commas, that the king, the shrewd king, the experienced king, doesn't believe that this is madness. Though it lacked a little form, lacked form a little. The view of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, the people around him, even Rosencrantz and Guildenstern do not think him to be mad. Guildenstern describes Hamlet's condition as crafty madness, يعني feigned madness. Crafty madness يعني مصنوع بمهارة, which means that Hamlet is merely trying to create an impression of madness. The fact that Hamlet is merely wearing an antic disposition is confirmed by Hamlet himself. وهاملت بيقوله when he tells the two courtiers, servants يعني, I am but mad northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a hand saw. Hamlet's exhortation to his mother, his advice to his mother, shows full well that Hamlet is not mad. In Act 3, Scene 4, Hamlet condemns his mother for her marriage to Claudius in such an effective and convincing manner that she feels compelled to say, حكم معها بطريقة فعالة وطريقة كاشفة لشخصيتها وأفعالها أجبرتها أن تقول, Oh Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnest mine eyes into my very soul. أنت أدخلت عيني أو حولت عيني إلى أن تنظر إلى my deepest soul. يعني you made me see the depths of my soul. And there I see such black. There in my soul I see such black and grained spots بقع سوداء موجودة هناك لا زالت تترك آثارا as will not leave their tinct أثر. The queen, in other words, realizes her error and her guilt. No man's words could have worked. هذه رفض يعني worked. This change in the queen could have brought about this change in the queen. An innocent person couldn't have worked out this change in the queen's behavior. And no madman could have spoken in the manner in which Hamlet contrasts the character of his father with that of his uncle عندما قارن شخصية عمه مع شخصية أبيه in this scene. His sound comments on the art of acting. قديش صار لقيت؟ قديش صار في الجلسة الثانية؟ كمان 5 دقائق. His sound comments on the art of acting. Hamlet's comments on the art of acting in Act 3 لما بقول للبلايرز تعليقاته على التمثيل الناس في أيام عصره. As I told you before, he represents Shakespeare's point of view here. He is a mouth speaker of Shakespeare, the mouthpiece of Shakespeare. Scene 2 are so sound that they couldn't have come from the lips of an insane person. إيش بقول؟ It is as if Shakespeare were himself speaking here. The advice which Hamlet gives to the players may be summarized as follows. إيش؟ Don't mouth your speeches. ما تعلوش أصواتكم كتير. Don't make wild gestures. Don't rant in too loud a voice or in too emphatic a manner. Don't out Herod. ما تسبقوش Herod في زعاق وصراخه. At the same time, be not too tame while making your speeches. ما تكونوش خانعين جدا عندما تتكلمون على خشبة المسرح. يعني كونوا in أمد الباث. Suit the action to the word. ناسبوا اعملوا مناسبة ما بين الفعل ما بين الكلمة والفعل and the word to the action. وناسبوا ما بين الكلمة والفعل. Don't overstep the modesty of nature. Overstep يعني transgress. Because the essence of acting is إن جوهر التمثيل is to hold the mirror up to nature. أن تضع مرآة أمام الطبيعة. يعني تحكس الطبيعة. أنت بتعكس الطبيعة. هذا المذهب الواقعي في الفن. As for the clowns, نصيحته للclowns, let them speak no more than is set down for them. ألا يتعدوا ما كتب لهم. It is foolish on the part of the clowns to start laughing. أن يبدأوا هم يضحكوا. لازم يضحكوا الناس مش يضحكوا. In order to make the spectators laugh. As has been said, no madman can deliver such sound maxims in respect of the art of acting on the stage. I would like to stop here, to stop here, and we meet, God willing, on Thursday, in a similar time, 3 o'clock. Once more again, come to your exams prepared. I hope that you study hard. Thank you. See you, Anna.
يعطيك العافية يا دكتور.
لا فيك يا بنت. Can I leave, عبد؟ يجي على قسم، تعالوا على قسم اللغة الإنجليزية يا عرب، يا عرب. يا عرب ولكم مكتوب على قسم اللغة الإنجليزية. لا إله إلا الله. يلا يساعدك جوازكن عليك. امشي يابا.
مكتوب على الجروب يا بنات.
نعم.
بحكي لهم مكتوب على الجروب كل إشي.
يا شيخ يصلح حالين يا رب. كيف بدنا نفتح البيوت هذول بكره؟
ضلك تدعي لنا يا دكتور.
انا عارف ادعي لك. بنفع معك الدعاء ولا كيف؟
لا يا شيخ ادعي لنا الله يهدينا.
الله يهديك ويصلح حالك ويوفقك.